Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan
I'm Angela.
from RNA Music. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Where it's over 100 degrees.
It's stupid.
So hot.
Yes. Yes. Satan's armpit.
Not excited. Alright. First question. I'm going to read this.
Okay.
P-Man 0856 from Southern New Jersey. Greetings.
Nice.
Hope the lollies are doing well. Ryan, I recall you recently mentioning Michael Kelly guitars. Have you considered carrying them? Found them to be an excellent value, having owned one of the Patriots. Plays great. Angela, since you're a fan of period piece TV, as I am, here's a suggestion for you. Pole Dark. Not the recent Masterpiece classic version, which is quite well done, but the original, around 75, 76.
Sweet.
You'll love it. As always, thanks for the great bits. Amazing week. You want to go first?
Sure.
Have you seen the original Pole Dark?
I have not seen the original Pole Dark. I've seen the current Pole Dark that's on, I've been streaming on Amazon. I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm really interested in trying to find the original one because I like the original stuff sometimes better than the remastered.
75 was a good year.
It was. Yeah.
It's a great year. Probably the greatest there ever was. If we're being honest.
I guess.
As far as 78 was alright as well.
Yeah.
But,
So was 2005.
yeah, I guess so. They're alright too. They're pretty good. As far as the Michael Kellys go, yes, I have considered them. I was looking at them at NAMM 2014. And I've been seriously considering working with them. We're just kind of waiting to get the all the pieces in place. And I've been checking them out. I've heard good things. I have some friends who are dealers already.
Yep.
And they've done really well so far and are very impressed with the quality of the guitars. And from what I'm seeing, price point wise, because they're made in the same factory as several other Korean guitars that we carry from multiple lines. It seems to me that the Michael Kellys are the best bang for the buck out of all of them. Well, pretty close.
Pretty close.
Pert near it.
Pert near.
There's a couple of diamonds that are $299 coming out of Korea, which is insane.
Yeah.
But past the $299 diamonds, the Michael Kellys are extremely affordable for a Korean-made guitar.
Awesome.
So we're working toward it. We'll see what happens. But if you want to get one,
your eye out.
if you want to get one from us, that might go a little bit toward helping us become a dealer. So let us know.
Sounds
Right.
good to me.
Thanks, Perry. Next, Bucci Daddykins. Haha, yes.
name.
Bucci Mummykins says hello. Hello, Bucci Mummykins. Star Blazers, yes. I haven't watched that forever. I gotta go try to find that somewhere and watch it. Let's see.
I'll have to find it.
Oh, there's a link there, too.
Amazon.
Was there a question here?
I thought there was.
Love seeing the other side of the ship floating through space. Truth be told, I think the only reason I watched it was to see the wave motion gun being fired. Yes. It was all about the big gun. Here's a link to the intro of a video.
Oh, no.
Nope. Not a question.
But
Sorry.
good information.
Great comment. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bucci Daddykins.
And hello, Bucci Mummykins.
Mummykins. Next question. Blaine Ludman. Hey, y'all. Dig the new format? Did you learn to read notations and or to read by sight for guitar or drums throughout your learning process? I never really learned to read sheet music. My mom, in her infinite wisdom, got me a year of classical guitar lessons in the 3rd grade, learning stuff like Greensleeves. Picked it back up 7th grade to be a metal god. Also, which way do you teach? Well, I did learn to read music notation. I did that as a kid. I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years old, taking piano lessons as a kid. So I learned music notation then. As a drummer, of course, I did percussion through 6th grade band, and all the way through my final year of college, which was like 5.5 years of college. So reading percussion notation, and then of course as a music major in college, I had 5 years of piano in college level piano. So it was all reading notation and percussion and stuff. And so I can read music for guitar, although it's a bit different because unlike the piano, the E above middle C it's like the first line of your treble clef. It's in one spot on a piano. But on the guitar, you can play that exact same note in quite a few different places. So notation for guitar is a little bit different. So I can do it, but I don't usually teach that way. I use tablature. Tablature I like for guitar because it's much more specific. And this is the exact fret and string that I want this note played on.
Right.
And it makes tablature is a lot easier for people to pick up in the beginning. So I do tablature first and get people playing the mechanics, fingers here, holding the pick, chords, all the physical stuff of it. We get that down first and get them playing music right away. And then later on, learning to read standard music notation on a guitar is something we do if that's something the student really wants to do.
Yeah.
But once they already have the physical facility in their hands, going back and learning to read the actual notation is not as hard as trying to learn to read music notation and trying to make your hands do what you want on guitar. So
Right.
I start with tab and do a lot of that first. But yeah, hope that answers your question. Thanks, Blaine.
There you go.
Silvesterado, is that right? Silvesterado 1. Love it. Y'all crack me up. I have a dual humbucker guitar that has series parallel switching. I've been wondering if I change the wiring to split or tap the coil, would I get a more authentic single coil sound? Cheers and thanks. Well, I have to say I have several guitars that have, the coil split on them. A couple of Washburns, a Chapman, a Diamond, and even my PRS. Now, none of them, I don't think, splitting the humbucker gets you a real authentic single coil sound. If you put that side by side with a single coil, it does a good impersonation of that actual single coil sound. And it is one coil, but I don't think it'll ever be quite the same as actually using a true full single coil pickup.
Yeah.
They get you close, get you in the ballpark, and with the right volume, and when you're playing with a band and there's a lot of extra noise, with a band, it'll get you close, but I don't think anything really fully replicates the full real single coil.
Right.
So I actually never use that on any of my guitars that actually have the coil split. So, but I'm not really a single coil guy. I like the humbuckers.
I like the name humbucker.
Humbucker. That's my favorite. Thanks, Silvesterado. Silvesterado. That's awesome. All right, Brian Daughtry. Best episode yet. Hilarious parts. Love it when y'all banter. I guess we went off topic a little bit last time. So
It happens.
we're just being real.
That's who we are.
Telling the truth. Just going there. So what are 2 huge pieces of advice you'd give a beginning small business such as myself? Not music, but leather goods. Awesome. I've done some leather.
Yep. Fine
That-
leather goods.
Fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Best day of the year.
Best day. I want to go watch that now.
I know. We have to watch that episode.
We need to go back.
We have to find that episode.
Yeah, just that
Yeah.
episode.
That's Parks and Recreation. Anyway.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
We should go. We should watch that tonight.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love Tom's character.
Treat yourself. That they might be blindsided with. Okay. Tips for small business, beginning small business. My dream is a small storefront, making enough to live modestly comfortable.
Okay.
All right, 2 huge pieces of advice I give a beginning small business. All right. I think number 1, now we kind of talked a little bit about this. If you just saw the last video we just put up about sacrifice and perspective, we just kind of told the story of how we started RNA music. Number 1 thing I would suggest is do your very, 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 very best to not go into debt. Like, don't take out a huge business loan to get started. Do whatever you can do to start without a lot of debt. Now, it might not be possible to start with 0 debt.
Right.
But, save up as much money as you can on the side, a little nest egg, to start with. Start in a small space. You don't have to have a big shop. Start with a small shop because you can rent a very small location. You might even be able to rent a small little corner or square footage inside of a existing location, almost like a kiosk type of thing.
Depending on what you're doing with your, if you need a workshop and stuff like that, it's different. But
try to start where you can start, but don't go out and take like a $50,000, $100,000 loan to get started.
Yeah.
So definitely don't do that, because that's just a lot of risks. That's a lot of.
Because there's a lot of small businesses that started off in their home. They started off in their home and they did a lot of online work and selling things through online. So.
And they grew to the point where they had to go get a storefront.
Yes, and that's that we were talking about in perspective of putting the cart in front of the horse. You don't want to do all this stuff to get people to believe that because your vision is so big on the inside of you, you don't want to outstep and try to make your business reflect your dream and your goal before you have the finances to back that dream and that goal, because it can get you in trouble. So I would say, get a budget and an accountant, someone who can help you be accountable with your finances, and QuickBooks or whatever you can do to get accountable and financially. Financial responsibility is first. Be financially responsible and wise.
Avoid debt.
Yes.
My first one. Pay cash for everything if you can.
If you can.
Now there have been points and times where we did have to take out some loans and borrow to do some things.
Yep.
And
we even did the Indiegogo campaign.
We did do the Indiegogo campaign
for a brand,
which helped.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't think we ever came back and said that it wasn't even half of what we needed.
Yeah.
And what we were told we needed, we were going off that. But when we actually sat down and crunched the numbers, yes, we hit our goal and we did that, which is great. But it turned out it was about half of what we actually needed.
Yeah.
So we had to go out and take loans for the other half, which was a huge burden, for us to deal with. Now we've moved past that and kind of gotten through that, which is great. But it was tough. So I would avoid that if you can. Talk with an accountant if you can. Like she said, now I'm pretty lucky in that aspect that my brother-in-law is a tax guy.
Yeah, everybody says don't let your brother-in-law do your taxes.
My brother-in-law's always done my taxes.
He actually does taxes. It's not just your brother-in-law who's good at math.
He's a professional tax guy.
He's actually a
so when I have kind of funky money questions, I do go ask my brother-in-law. But it's because he knows things.
Yeah.
But avoid debt. Number one, don't be afraid to start small. Start from home if you can. Start at flea markets, craft fairs, trade shows. There's a lot of things you can do to start.
Yes.
Start where you can
start. Get your
name
out there, Facebook page, social media, stuff like that.
Yeah. So. I mean, Angela does her Lolly's Loops business, her crochet business. I mean, it's technically a home-based business, really.
Yeah, it is.
And you don't even have a website. You just do everything through Facebook. And you take in
it's
orders.
just me. I don't have anybody. I don't pump out enough. Crocheting is too time consuming to have a website. People ask about Etsy. They're like, why don't you put up on Etsy? Because I don't make enough. I don't produce enough to keep up with an Etsy order. I'd rather just, when people message me on Facebook, can you make this? And then they just send me the money and I make it for them. So that's how I prefer it. I don't want to be the
You're
next
not trying to grow it to
big
a massive
thing. No, this is just pocket money right now for us. So
you could grow it, but your pricing would have to go up quite a bit. And
yes,
that would be
for what I charge for the things I make and the time that it takes me to make them is not balanced.
And it would be the only thing that you could do. If you wanted to grow it into a real business, you could, but it would be the only thing.
Exactly.
It would take all of your time. So
exactly.
Thanks for the question, Brian.
Yes.
John Burdett, man, the audio and video is really crisp, real nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it might not be today because it's darker.
Maybe not. I don't know because it's getting dark outside. Yeah. This is late in the evening, actually.
Yes.
Not late, but it's evening time.
Right.
Let's see. Where's the question? Guitars attempts. There's no question there.
Oh, I thought there was.
Nope. Just a very lovely comment. Thank you, John.
Oh. My children were talking to me while I was copying and pasting, so I got off track.
Yeah, we were having conversations and talking business.
Copying and pasting crazy.
Yeah. All right, thank you, John. Thom Grogan, Angela, you might like Ballykiss Angel. It's another BBC Irish drama TV show. even upstairs, downstairs, similar to the show you're talking about. The whole upper class, I like a bunch of epic writing and acting.
Yeah.
Not a question.
Oh.
Just another lovely comment. Lovely comment.
Yes.
First page of questions and comments down. Next page.
Yes.
All right, there's one from Roy DW3. This is Roy's question. It's quite lengthy. I'm not going to read the whole comment. I did read it, but I'm not going to read it to you guys. Basically, his question was, can you play the Schecter you were recommending? Well, the non-artist version. I'm looking to make a purchase in October. In fact, I may drive out there and pick one up for you guys. Love to see a video on the guitars that meet my needs. Maybe HSS, maybe HHH, da-da-da-da. Thanks for all you do, guys. All right, so Roy was asking me, he wants a guitar that's pretty versatile. And we were talking about the Schecter Nick Johnston signature Strat style guitar. And I was telling him there's one that's their California Vintage series. That's very similar. It's kind of a silver color. It looks a lot like Nick's guitar. So it's probably the closest affordable one to Nick's guitar, which I think it's around $550, $560-ish. That's not a quote for a price. I'm just saying it's ballpark.
No, it's not a quote. Between
$550, $600. I don't know. I had to look it up. But you know, Nick's signature is like $2,500. So quite a bit different. But if I had one in stock, I would absolutely play it. I don't have one in stock right now, but as soon as I do get one in stock, I will absolutely do a demo for you. I think now that's the California Vintage Series Strat style that Schecter makes. It has 3 single coils.
Keep on doing that. It's funny to me.
Quote unquote rabbit ears.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, you know, I'm used to typing and doing that as I type with an actual quotation.
I'll do the other side.
Thank you.
There
I feel complete now. You complete me. All right.
Do I really? Because that's...
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
Okay.
Literally complete me. That's also from Parks and Rec, isn't it?
Yes.
I guess we're watching Parks and Rec tonight.
I think so.
I think we need to.
I think we do.
It would be good. Now, there is another California Vintage series that Schecter makes that has got a humbucker and 2 singles. So that one, if you're looking for versatility, I would probably go with the one that's the humbucker and the 2 singles. You know, if you're trying to do rock, metal, blues, and country and do all of that stuff, the humbucker with the 2 singles is probably going to give you better options. And you could get the one that's more Nick. Wow, see, now I'm doing it on purpose.
I'm sorry.
Nick. Like, I have to quote Nick's name. Nick Johnston. Why would I do that? I don't know either.
I'm saying.
I'm thinking about it now. You could get the one that's more Nick Johnston-esque. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that for me. And put like a stacked single in the bridge, and like a hot rails in the neck or something crazy like that. And I think that guitar is, you know, very affordable. It's a very affordable Korean-made Strat style guitar. So if I get one in, which I may or may not in the next month or so, possibly, if Angela says I can, order one. We just sold some guitars. I got to refresh the stock.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely play one if we get one in. So thanks for the question, Roy. Finally, Big John, Florida Big John.
Yeah.
Who I just found out told me like he broke his back and broke his foot at one point in time, way back.
Yeah.
We were talking about back issues.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it's been a few years, but he says, yeah, definitely
Lord.
he feels it now. What?
I bet.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Big John. Hi, Ryan and Angela. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good. I'm getting better.
It was his birthday yesterday.
It was. Happy birthday, Big John.
Yep.
Happy belated birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I can stand up without using a standy up stick today. It's
good.
Great. I'm making progress. This is for both of you. Do you believe in the swamp ape and Bigfoot? Do you think they're the same thing, just called different depending on geographical location? I thought I saw a swamp ape once when I was hunting, but it just turned out to be my friend Tom, who ran by my tree stand covered in bees in his, well, I'll stop there being a family show. All right. You kids have a wonderful weekend. You said swamp ape. I was thinking swamp thing. But, do we believe in
I've
Bigfoot or a swampy
ever
Bigfoot?
heard of swamp ape. Ever. I've never heard of that in my life.
I've heard it called swamp thing.
I've heard of swamp man. Like, there's an old man that lives in the swamp and he haunts the swamps. I've heard of that before, but I've never heard of a swamp
Ape.
ape.
I don't think I've ever heard it called a swamp ape.
No, I've never heard of a swamp ape. I think, I really do, kinda. Now, I don't think like a missing link. See, here I go.
I got you on
Any
the quotes.
person, but I think that there are probably like wilderness men who live.
Great big bushy beards?
Yes, I think that there are men who live out that are just completely
Off the grid?
adapted to their environment and live completely, almost like Mowgli. You know, they are just like totally immersed and maybe can't speak and, you know, like Nell.
They've got ghillie
know.
suits,
Yes.
like the snipers who they're
Yes.
all completely covered in.
So I think that there are men that, you know, try to adapt to modern society moving in on their turf, and we catch a glimpse of these men who have lived in the wilderness for generations. There was a story about a family that lived in, where in Russia, out in, you know, where they say the wasteland.
Russia?
Where the
Tundra?
Yeah, like way out there in this just secluded area, and like they didn't know that like the war happened, World War II. They didn't know anything about that. They had no idea that any of that happened, and they were so secluded. Like that, they had their own language because they were so
Way out in the middle of nowhere.
you know, way away. So I believe that there are people
Like deep
you know,
East Texas.
like deep East Texans. You know, so I think that there are possibilities, whether they're like actually half human, half animal. I don't believe in that, but I do believe that there are people that are so, you know,
They would be easily mistaken for a Sasquatch
yes,
by normal humans.
Yes.
Normal
yes,
humans.
that they become this myth that are just beyond rational thinking, like Cowboys fans. But I don't know. It's almost football season.
Like
so.
Tony Romo fans.
Yes. So
Tony Romo fans, I've heard they exist.
I've heard they exist.
I've never met
But
one.
in the wild, I've never seen one.
You might find a Tony Romo fan. I don't know.
Yeah. Next week on TLC.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I...
Go, go.
I don't think I believe in Bigfoot
Yeah.
or swamp ape.
I'm excited about the swamp ape thing. I'm not so excited about your friend Tom and his birthday suit covered in bees. That doesn't seem pleasant
See, I don't think...
at all.
I think swamp ape is a lot less likely because there's gators in the swamp.
Yeah.
We're a lot more likely to actually eat a swamp
Yeah.
ape. Whereas, you know, Bigfoot, he's
Trees.
he's probably out there,
caves.
you know, he probably knows how to avoid bears. You know, so
Like Grizzly Adams.
Bigfoot is a lot less likely to get killed by, you know, pumas and panthers and grizzly bears, maybe. I think you're a lot more likely to get taken out by a gator.
You never know.
I don't know. Great question, John.
You're silly.
And on that note, that's it for today. Leave your comment for next week or your question. Preferably questions and comments both.
Yeah, we love them both.
Yeah, they're all great. We do read them.
Yeah,
They don't always make it into
we
the,
get a kick out of a lot of them.
into the questions. but
We appreciate all the comments. And
we do read them all.
compliments.
So thank you guys so much. Keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Wheelie, wheelie, wheelie. What's happening in there, swamp ape?
Swamp break.
Doing.